Hey everybody, it's Wednesday, coming to you guys again from the studio of No Static Radio, spreading love unapologetically. I am Gina Kenny. I am the president of EPIC, ensuring parole for incarcerated citizens. Spreading love unapologetically is an umbrella of three organizations here in the state of Ohio: EPIC, BAM, By Any Means, as well as Adjusting Lives and Healing Hearts with Gay Lisa Carr. We are joined together in a force, action over clout. We are boots on ground, empowering, embracing, and educating those that are not affected by incarceration, as well as those that are pros at incarceration. Today, actually, we do have an in-guest coming into the studio, Miss Roberta Cleveland. We actually interviewed her and her husband last week. It was an amazing interview. It was a great pleasure to meet the both of them. It's always great, you know myself, I have a husband who is incarcerated, so it's always nice to meet like-minded people you don't have to persuade. We will be talking about her book, their book, I should say. We did a little bit last week. We kind of went off guard from it, but 3 strands, 1 cord, Roberta and Alfred Cleveland. It is a couple's guide to understanding incarceration, and if you have yet to order it, I definitely recommend it for sure. Like I said, I just started, reading a few different books, and I had to stop reading my other ones. No offense to my authors, but this is the truth. And I've been doing this for many years with my husband, and this has actually made me more understanding of situations that I know that he's been in. So for sure, if you are involved with someone who is incarcerated, please, 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 please get that book, whether you're married, you're not, you're dating, whatever the case may be. Let's talk about what EPIC's been up to. So everyone knows how hard we've been working on abolishing slavery once and for all here in the state of Ohio. We recently met up with Senator Cecil Thomas, his aide, as well as Max Parthas and Dennis Febo with Abolish Slavery National Network and Abolition Today. They've been doing an amazing job with fighting to end slavery, not just in their states, but across the United States. And I feel, because Max has been doing this for a very, very, very long time now, that it's coming soon enough. I'm hoping by at least 2028, we'll say 2028, that slavery will be abolished throughout the United States. There is a lot of opposition. I know here in Ohio, we have some opposition. We have senators and reps that say that slavery was abolished. It's not. Read the 13th Amendment. There is an exception clause in there, and it's extremely real. Slavery is still alive. Yesterday, as a matter of fact, Cecil Thomas was in the Judiciary Committee introducing his Senate Joint Resolution 1. What the Senate Joint Resolution 1 is what we've wanted. It simply reads, no slavery, period. There should be no slavery, period. So we introduced that yesterday. So now it's the big work for us. I mean, we've been working hard as was, but now the real work begins. And when I say this, this is where the campaigning comes in. This is where the rallying comes in. We have to be boots on ground. We have to be out on these streets and encouraging people. And like I said, empowering, embracing, and educating people about slavery still being alive, because a lot of people don't know. And I'm not going to lie to y'all. I just found out about a year, maybe 2 years ago, since I've been following Max. So it's all about educating people so that they do know what's really happening. So with that being said, EPIC is in the process of putting together a campaign. We are working closely with Ohio Transformation Funds. We have a couple ideas as far as campaigns go. Rallies, we've started to put some dates together. We're organizing the details so that we can get flyers posted, so that they're out in ample enough time for people to, be there to show up and show out. It takes a village. Myself, I can't just do the work. Gay Lisa's organization can't just do the work. BAM can't just do the work. This is why we came together under one umbrella. You know, we all have different agendas, but we're all fighting to end mass incarceration. You know, BAM and Gay Lisa, their organizations have been doing a great job with reentry, handling the medical conditions and the abuse, the abuse of power, as well as attempting to create programs. And that's what we need. We need programs and resources for those that are not only going in, but those that are coming out as well. Whoever's showing us that love, thank you. I see y'all. But anyhow, my brother just came home yesterday. I'm sorry, not yesterday, last Thursday. It hasn't even been a week yet. I picked him up from Belmont Correctional Institution. Last week, I bragged about it a little bit. And so far, he's doing okay. But there's still, there's issues. He's got to find his way to all of his appointments. Today, he had an appointment. I had to work. Couldn't get in there. Guess what he's doing? Waking up early to get on that bus to get down there. What happens if the bus has an accident or, it breaks down and he doesn't make it on time? Those are chances he has to take. And we know the system. It's one easy mishappening for him to end back up in those, in the walls, period. So I've been doing all that I can. Yes, Eileen is out. Actually, we will talk about that. I'm glad that you said that. So yeah, he's been out a week. He hasn't served as much time as many of our people that we advocate for. However, just doing those 8 years definitely took him out the game for a little bit. And, me being his sister, his god sister, I'm not going to let him fail. I'll do whatever it takes to ensure that he does not become that statistic. And when I say that statistic, I mean that statistics that these correctional officers and these unit managers and these wardens are walking them out the door in hopes that they're coming straight back. But we will do everything that we can in our willpower to ensure that when people are coming out, we're hands-on with them. We're helping them. We're getting them the help that they need. Joseph Langdon came out, fresh out. He, got a book, started his own business. The girls and I have promoted his book tremendously. He was in a hotel. Out of our own generosity, we sent him some funds to help him out a little bit because the struggle's real. Finding jobs. Right now, jobs are everywhere because nobody wants to work. But prior to this, there weren't any, and especially for felons. So it's definitely time to change narratives. Like I said, resources and programming is much needed. However, changing the narrative on people who make mistakes. Not everyone is still the same person they were 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. And we have to give them that credibility and give them that chance of change. So I just want to say that if you guys are welcoming anybody home from prison, if you know anyone coming home, please, please, please stay at their doorstep. Check on them. Make sure that they're okay. Because like I said, one wrong move, they're right back into the system. Probation and parole is just as worse as mass incarceration. It is part of the problem. Eileen Slack. I seen a comment on one of our pages. I love y'all showing me love today. All them comments, I can't even keep up with you guys. Phone lines are open though. Please call in because I'm by myself right now. I need some help. 216-939-5087. If you have a question, comment, concern, you're a part of another organization, you want to collaborate, please hit that phone line. Eileen Slack was incarcerated for 25 years. Eileen Slack was incarcerated for 25 years for a crime that she physically did not commit. Unfortunately, wrong place, wrong time. Her and her, and I apologize to the family. She's home now, so I feel like we can't jeopardize her. So we might as well tell her story because she deserves that justice. was involved with a man, went to a store. This man shot at a cop. Cop shot back. Some lives were lost. Eileen, the one that didn't even have the gun, was convicted of these murders. She spent 25 years in prison. She was considered an old law incarcerated person. We tried to get her out with judicial. Unfortunately, those 4 laws, she wasn't able to file for a judicial release, so she had to stay. Well, luckily, in January, she was called up for parole early and was granted parole. And her daughter had reached out to me, and look, I got goosebumps. Her daughter had reached out to me and told me her parole was granted, but I had to reassure her family to stay praying, because just because they're granted parole doesn't mean that they're coming home. They revoke them. All it takes is the prosecutor to rebut it. All it takes is the victim to be like, hey, look, couldn't make it to the hearing, but I don't think so-and-so should come out. They can revoke that parole. The chances at parole here in Ohio are extremely slim, and that's why, EPIC's been doing the footwork with parole reconstruction and making our parole board more transparent, diverse, and fair. But we were very, very blessed and thankful that, someone that we've been advocating for, Eileen Slack, was granted parole, and she's came home to her loving family. She has children. Her daughter had to grow up without her mother. And it's bittersweet when you hear those stories of these people coming home. But, we got to stay on them. We got to pray. We have to keep offering our help, our support, whatever it takes. And when Eileen's daughter told me that she was granted parole, I had asked her if I could make a post about it on Facebook. But at the end of the day, we just didn't want to take those chances and jinx anything. So finally, she was released March 28th or 9th. And I'll never forget, I didn't want to message the daughter just in case, it was revoked. And I didn't want to open up any type of emotions or wounds or anything like that. So I had checked DRC's website and seen that she was in fact released. And I messaged her daughter and again was ecstatic. I don't know them personally. I don't know a lot of the people that I advocate for personally, but I can tell you there's many of them that feel like family. They call, they check on me every week. Hey, G, what's up? How you doing? What's going on? What's moving? What's not? What should I be doing? Do you need anything? I mean, it's heartwarming. These are human beings. Human beings. My family and I have been there for her. It was the 29th. Thank you, 29th. Her daughter's Jenny. Yeah. And like I said, I appreciate her family staying there and not giving up on her and supporting her because, it's sad. There's a lot of these people that don't have family. Their families have wrote them off. There's no help for them. None. And I know I've said this a million times to you guys, but 130% over capacity, Ohio can do better than that. We really, really can. I have people that get out that live in the North. Call Pete DeLuke and Associates, 937-497-1515. They need good workers. Okay, thanks, Michelle. Last weekend. Hey, you know what? If you guys ever want to reach out to me, send me any type of pictures or anything like that, please. We will put them on all of our platforms. This Spreading Love Unapologetically platform was given to us by No Static Radio. We are extremely blessed and thankful for them. Every Wednesday, 4 to 6, we're in here talking stories. We're giving the facts, the truths, the statistics, all of that. We have no problem blessing our families with getting their stories out there, honestly, especially Eileen's. Like I said, that's something that needs to be talked about. Accessory is serious here in Ohio. You know, you could be with people and not even know that they're getting ready to go in the store and rob it, but because you were with them, now you're stuck in the system. You're a product of the system. And once you're in there, it's extremely hard to get out unless you have money, or you know DeWine, or you know somebody that's in that courthouse. You're not getting out. Thank you. If you can send them to me personally, I'm not sure if you have my Facebook, or actually, I'll go ahead and drop the email real quick in the comments here. Please send those pictures to us. We would love to share her story. Her story deserves to be told. Again, that was Eileen Slack, 25 years for a crime she did not commit. She was just there. That is our email. I just posted it at epicxteam20@gmail.com. Thank you again, Eileen's family. We greatly appreciate you guys supporting her, supporting us, and being there. Sharing. You know, people are like, I don't have the money to donate. That's fine. Share our lives. Share the information. Write your lawmakers. They're the ones that are in control of our laws. They're the ones that are in control of the system. We have to do better as citizens. We have to care. We have to be compassionate. We have to. And stay persistent and keep pressure. Without it, nothing's changing, guys. Nothing's changing. So I am personally asking everyone and anyone that's listening right now that if you have any way, shape, or form can get involved, whether it be, you know, sharing, calling, emailing. We are taking donations. We're actually putting together, we want to do a yard sale to bring in funding for the organizations. If you have anything you want to donate, please reach out to us. Let us know. We will personally come get it. We are a true force throughout Ohio. We have taken care of Akron, Cleveland, East Side. We got it. Please, we are asking people to please step in and be involved. We can't do it on our own. We definitely need a village. We are in the process of building our army. But change starts with us, people. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen bitching on social media. It's not going to happen complaining to each other about it. We have to be out on the front line, on the streets, here in studio, on the phone. We just have to stay persistent. Yeah, like I said, if anybody wants to call in, please do. Roberta should be here soon. We have Hustle Carter in the studio today, though. A new one.
Yeah, I'm over here.
Soaking it all in. Yeah, we were talking about it a little bit before we came on live, and like I told him, it's all about persuading people. If you could persuade one person a day, imagine how many people that one person is going to persuade. Now, he's going to take this information that we're sharing, that we're spreading love unapologetically about, and he's going to use it to the best of his ability. I could already tell. I was talking to somebody that was like-minded. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I got people in the system, and people going and trying to keep people out of the system, but there's, it's like a revolving door. There's people going in, sometimes people coming out, sometimes they not. But yeah, like I was saying, man, I got a cousin. He's been in there for almost 30 years.
It's sad. And you said he was a juvenile as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I mean, they're kidnapping our children, making them slaves, and keeping them incarcerated forever. This is not okay. This is not okay. Your kids aren't safe. My kids aren't safe. His kids aren't safe. None of our kids are safe. And, people say that the system's broken. It's not broken. The system is doing exactly what it was intended to do. And we talked about that as well. The whole slavery aspect. They just put a Band-Aid on it and changed the narrative. That's all they did. They made it legal. Incarceration, mass incarceration is modern day legal slavery. Period. And he was talking about, and that's the thing, like that's what people also fail to realize is the slavery, the prison labor that comes from our incarcerated people. They're being paid 5 cents to build thousands of dollars worth of furniture. And he had mentioned that he had friends that said that they weren't going to buy anymore from stores that, condone that type of labor. Well, guess what?
Stores, products.
You better start going garbage picking.
And then when you start looking it up, I told them it's going to be a long list. When they start looking it up, it's like, man, yeah, it's going to be hard to carry on everyday life not using the products made with prison labor.
Absolutely. It's insane. I mean, you got guys out in California fighting fires, wildfires at that, risking their lives. But the minute they step out of prison, they can't get a job with the fire department. Kind of sense does that make? You know what I mean? They were good enough to do it while they were incarcerated because they're quote unquote slaves. Yeah. But when you put them out in the free world, when they really need it, it's not available to them. That doesn't make sense to me. Not at all.
Yeah, it's totally different. West Coast. They out sleeping outside, all kind of stuff, man.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy here too, though. I seen a few places, people.
They're stacked on top. It's warehousing. Yeah, that's what it is. It's human warehousing. Laying on top of each other. I know in the prisons in the beginning of COVID, when they started to separate people, they were only doing it from like, if you reach your hands out, you could
touch the next person.
Yeah. That's not 6 foot. This is not 6 foot. From your arm, your shoulder down to your hands, not 6 foot. So yeah, it's absolutely insane. And I know all 3 organizations have been doing a great job during COVID. We've been nonstop. We've really been nonstop. We may work and move in silence, but best believe every day and night, we're constantly advocating. We're constantly researching. We're constantly reaching out to whoever we have to reach out to. The only problem is that so many people, they want to be about the cause, but I mean, where y'all at? I mean, we really need you guys right now. Epic started a Google Doc of a sign up. Basically, all we're asking you guys to do, it's basically like an early petition to abolish slavery. We're just taking that information, and when we sit down with Cecil Thomas, hey, Cecil, we have 50 people right now signed up ready to abolish slavery. And the next time meet with him, hey, Cecil, now we have 150. It's statistics. Statistics are everything. And actually, I'm not going to lie to you. When we sat down with Cecil Thomas, I felt that because he knew that not only was a local state organization fighting to abolish the same thing he's trying to do, and then to see that there was a national organization behind us as well, it gave him confidence. It reassured him that him pushing for slavery is not just going to be him and his peoples. This is going to be something that we are going to campaign for and make sure that it happens. There is no prison reform, period, until we abolish the 13th Amendment. I'm serious. I mean it. The 13th Amendment must go before we do any more type of prison reform. And that's not just here in Ohio. That's across the board, United States. Every single state must abolish slavery, period. We are taking calls, guys. I'm going to put drop the number here at the bottom of our platforms. Call in, please, if you have any questions, you want to state anything. If you have anything, like Susan just stated that Richland was killing people, let's talk about it. Call me, please. Call me, please. We have to bring awareness. I need y'all's help. Eileen's family member. I cried so hard when she got off the elevator. I had the big giant sign that I had when we were at ORW at the peaceful protest. My mother, father, and husband were in tears as well. Thank you, God, for that. She is home. We did. We showed up at all but 2 prisons during COVID. All but 2 during our We Will Not Be Silenced rallies. We made a lot of noise. We brought a lot of attention to the communities that these prisons are sitting in, that COVID's not going away until we address our prisons. We have staff members going inside the prisons, coming out into the communities, not only that they work in, but the communities that they live in. We have caught COs going into stores and going right back to the prisons. Masks not over their nose, barely over their mouths. Like this is the stuff we've been dealing with. And it's only getting worse. Nothing seems to be getting better. So it's definitely time to start making noise. But how do we do that? We need help. We help. It's okay, Susan. I understand she's at work. She can't call in. But she did say, she said Richland is killing people. And unfortunately, it's not just Richland. People are dying every single day in our prisons, and we just aren't hearing about it. We're not. Staff members are taking drugs into these institutions, killing our loved ones. We're just not hearing about it. You know what they say it is? Suicide. Suicide. They're abusing our loved ones. Suicide. It was justified. Like, open your eyes, people. These are human beings. No one's life is worth less than anyone else's, period. I don't care who you are. And that's how I'm feeling about these cops right now, too. Like, you know, the cops with all this, and COs too. Don't get me wrong. Y'all, they think that they're of authority and they're untouchable. They're people, just like we are. What makes a police officer better than you and I? Nothing. Nothing. No job title is better than another, period. None. I don't care if they're cops or not. They're to treat us with dignity and respect, and they haven't been for a very long time. It's time for us to demand that. Same thing from these prisons. We are to be treated with dignity and respect, period. We're not treated like that. I know when I go see my husband, I'm treated just like I'm a prisoner too. Like I did the crime as well. I was banned from seeing my husband. They tried to indefinitely ban me. They banned me for 6 months. I fought it. 6 months. Didn't do nothing wrong. But because they can, they did it. Why? Because I'm out here on the streets. I'm educating people. I'm running my mouth. And I'm not shutting up about it. I will not shut up until change happens, period. But guess what? That doesn't make myself nor my husband back down. I mean, retaliation's real. But sometimes you have to rise above it and do what you got to do. And if you're not willing to, and you just want to lay down and just do the time, you're letting the time do you. Don't let the time do you. Don't let the time do you. You do your time, but in the process, fight for yourself. Fight for what's right. Fight for those that are around you. You have to. I'm going to go to a couple of comments we have here on screen. Power corrupts. Yep. Absolute power corrupts. Absolutely. Thank you, Barb. She said, I agree with everything you have said. I don't know. It just says Facebook user, please contact me. I need a new group to work with. You are making moves. I'm not sure who wrote that. Please use that email I dropped, epicxteam20@gmail.com. Myself or one of my board members will definitely reach right back out to you. Like I said, this isn't just Epic. This is Adjusting Lives, Healing Hearts. This is by any means. We are under one umbrella, spreading love unapologetically. In full force. Action over clout, period. We've really been doing a lot, and it's the weather's starting to warm up, so we have a lot more planned, not just together, but individually as our own organizations are, dealing with our own agendas. There's a lot of work to be done, guys. We have so much stuff that people could be doing for us. Especially donations. If everyone that supported just Epic's page gave us $1, we'd be at $5,000 easily. It's that simple. No organization works without funding. And unfortunately, we've been doing a lot of self-funding with also help from a lot of our great supporters. There's a few that, they're consistently helping out. Here's this. I know it's not much, but please take this. We appreciate it. This radio show, we have to pay for it, and we will out of our own pockets if we have to, but we shouldn't have to. We're here fighting for all of ODRC's loved ones, period. So yes, if you guys can donate, share, like, spread the word, show up to our rallies, share our rallies. We do have another window campaign coming up. We just had one for National Support a Prisoner Day. We titled it From Your Window, or Show Your Pain on Your Window Pane. We will be doing another window campaign for Wrongful Conviction Day, which will be October 2nd. That is one rally I can for sure tell you now. Mark your calendars. The date never changes, October 2nd. And again, this year we will be outside of Cuyahoga County Justice Center. I'm hoping again, last year we had Ruel Saylor, Larice Glover, Derek Wheat. We had several of those that were wrongfully incarcerated that showed up and supported us, as well as their family. It was amazing. It was extremely cold down there, but we showed up, boots on ground, layered up with our boards. We made a lot of noise. We were stopping traffic. We had people from cars recording us. We had several news articles about it. This year, I want it to be hundreds of people down there, downtown Cleveland. October 2nd. Normally, the time's around 12 o'clock. You can check back on our website, www.epicxteam.org. We will have that posted eventually. But during October 2nd, Wrongful Conviction Day, not only will we be doing our annual rally, we've been doing this for the last 4 years. Every Wrongful Conviction Day, we've had one. Unfortunately, we've been trying to do Columbus, Cleveland, but we feel like we get more support from Cleveland. If y'all down south start showing up, we can start doing more down in Columbus. We will have a couple rallies down at the State House for freeing the 13th Amendment. But for sure, October 2nd is set in stone, Wrongful Conviction Day, rally downtown Cleveland at the Justice Center, as well as a window campaign for wrongful conviction. I've shared pictures on my Facebook. There's pictures on Epic's Facebook. There's pictures on all of our Facebook pages. I do believe it's even on our website. I shared many pictures of those that participated with us for this last window campaign. And honestly, to date, now mind you, that was in February. To date, my window still is sharing my pain. I still have my lights in my window. I still have my husband's poster boards in my window. I still have all 3 poster boards in my window. And actually, I just received an email last week on my husband's fight page. Basically, they drove past my house and seen the blue lights in my window. Went around, came back around, looked at my windows again, and read my board. See my husband's name, Googled him to find out his story, came across his fight page, and emailed me. She doesn't have anyone that's incarcerated, but she cared enough to reach out to me to let me know that my window was absolutely amazing. And she said, what a great way to get information out. We don't have to turn our porch lights on. We don't have to light candles, guys. We can use our windows in our own homes. And even if you can do it at your work, business, school, wherever, those window campaigns, I plan on growing them in tenfolds. I feel like those are going to be our biggest campaigns ever, just by using our own homes. We don't have to raise money for that. It takes a couple seconds. I actually took painter's tape and put bars down my window, like prison bars. That's still sitting in my window. I don't think that my window is ever coming down, but I would like to get more people involved this next window campaign. More details to come on our website. We'll have a flyer circulating. We did a hell of a job sharing that flyer last time. Hundreds of people seen it. Hundreds of people shared it. Thousands of people seen it. And I got a pretty great deal of pictures back for that. And it was amazing. It was amazing. It's one simple way to show your support for your incarcerated loved one. I am at the doctor's. Please PM me. You go beautiful, and you are our unicorn. Definition follows: carriage drawn by a horse, at least two abreast that pull the load and support each other. Tell the gentleman with you he is phenomenal. I wish I knew who was writing that. I appreciate y'all. It just says Facebook comment. Okay, I am the one that needs a new group. Dayton needs help too. Email me, guys. If you find me on Facebook, it's JEA. I'll drop it again. I'm not, for some reason, you guys, it's coming up Facebook user, so I'm not really sure who's saying what, but please find me. Don't let this be our last interaction. That's where you can find me on Facebook. Add me, please. Please, please, please add me, message me. And I promise you, I will get right back to you guys. I definitely would love for whoever it is that wants to come on board and help out, that needs help in Dayton for sure. Oh, it's Amy. Hi, Amy. I know who it is now. Yes, Amy, get a hold of me or Terry, please. Gay Lisa. I mean, I know you're working with Gay Lisa too. We are definitely doing all we can to become a true force. We have, and it's sad, you have all these organizations, and I know, especially like with Epic, I can speak on Epic. We have tried numerous times to work with other organizations. Okay. And I'm not going to lie, there is certain organizations that we just refuse to, right? Because we just do. We are entitled to that. However, the organizations that just want to work for themselves and get, the recognition and their names, their own. Hi, Gay Lisa. I should drop you that StreamYard link, lady. You should be here with me. But listen, organizations that just, they want the fame for themselves. They don't want to work with other organizations because of personal differences and this, that, and the other. You can't do that. Your personal differences have to be put aside. Your personal preferences have to be put aside. We are all on the same route, just different cars, but we're all headed to the same destination. And I hope that makes sense to y'all, because this here, Spreading Love Unapologetically, is 3 different organizations. Yes, we are all a part of fighting mass incarceration, but we all 3 have our own agendas. All 3 of us. Nothing either organization does is the same as the other one. But you know what? It fits. It works. Us ladies have become an amazing force together. A great bond that's been created between the 3 organizations. And I know just because of Spreading Love Unapologetically, we're going to get a lot of work done because we're able to work together. We're able to put personal differences aside. And I do. I love Gay Lisa. I love Teresa. I love Tamora. And I love my ladies, my Epic ladies, Terry and Lex. They're my partners for the rest of my life. Like, Epic's not going absolutely anywhere. Every day I'm getting calls from people from the inside, and, a lot of times they're like, oh, this new organization hit me up. You should check them out and blah, blah. Half the time we already know these organizations, but they're not willing to work with us. But my guys and my women that we correspond with will tell you that they know for sure that Epic is here to stay. They know for sure that Epic is going to make sure that change happens. Why? Because we stay persistent and we keep the pressure going, and we're not giving up. We won't be silenced. And like I said, I'm so thankful and blessed that we were able to come together under this umbrella and are able to spread love unapologetically, not just on our own platforms, but here in studio, No Static Radio. And like I said, I give them mad love, mad props, and mad respect, because they every Wednesday they have us up in here, and they tell us, you guys are doing an amazing job. Keep it up. The reviews are great. This, that, and the other. And that's what we want. That's what we need. If we can't do it to our own platforms, we want to be sure that we are able to target those that aren't affected to let them know that they're condoning this behavior. It's because of them that we can't make change happen. We got to start making noise, guys. We got to start getting angry. Every time there's a wrongful conviction coming out these courtrooms, we need to get mad like these cops killing people. Honestly, how is it okay for a wrongful conviction to happen, right? And you people ain't out there making noise. How do we hold prosecutors and judges accountable, right? Like y'all want police to be held accountable. If we ain't making noise, if we ain't in the streets making noise, and I'm not saying get out there and start rioting and beating people up and breaking buildings. No, there's a way to make noise and be heard without all the violence and the drama and all that. But being quiet ain't getting nobody nowhere, period. Period, as Tamara said. Call in, ladies. Phone lines are open. I'm going to send you pics. I am one that is blowing you up. You're good. All right. Thank you, Eileen, sister. We appreciate. Oh, thank you, Amy. Oh, okay. I'm getting the connection together now. Okay, Amy. I'm sorry. My other crew is in there in the comments. I wish one of y'all would call in and talk to me. I miss you guys. What you think, Hustle?
I'm just trying to see. I see a little bit of these comments, but I don't know where all these comments are coming from.
Yeah, we have some on the No Static page. We have, like I said, every comment from our platform comes over this way to me. Yeah. Drop the Vimo link. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and drop ways that you guys can donate to Epic. Gay Lisa and Tamara are here as well. If you guys can go ahead and get that information dropped, I'll make sure that it gets dropped on our platforms as well. And then, yeah, phone lines are open, guys. Please call in. I tried to get Joseph Langdon in here today. He's too busy for us anymore, I guess. Roberta should be coming in soon, so you won't have to hear from me much longer. She's got a lot to tell. Hopefully she wasn't calling me because I don't have my phone in studio, guys. Okay, so that's not right. I'm dropping the donation information there. Like I said, we are also looking for anything you guys are willing to donate, whether it be household items, shoes, clothes, shovels. I know my girls need shovels. They got a few programs coming up for this upcoming winter. Rakes. They're looking to put some juveniles in a couple communities to work, to keep them off the streets. Because that's the problem, man. That school to prison pipeline. Yeah, that's real. It's for real, guys. It really is. And oh man, what did I do? Ew. I don't know what I'm doing, guys. Hold on a second. It's serious. It really is. Our kids, for instance, I live here in Cleveland, okay? They've took most sports out of all of our schools. There might be football. There might be baseball. There is probably no soccer. Volleyball, no. Cheerleading, no. All of these clubs, these teams, these sports, these, drama club, chess club, drill team, cheerleading, all that, it's all gone. They're giving our children no other option but to resort to the streets for attention. There is nothing in these streets, especially nowadays, for our children at all. At all. So what BAM's been doing is there. Hey, Serena. So what BAM's been doing is they've been putting together programs, and what they would like to do is get more involved with juveniles and, interact with them and encourage them and embrace them and educate them about what could happen if you are caught in the wrong place at the wrong time. So they want to do like shoveling. They want to do raking, cleaning yards and, fun stuff, giving them an opportunity to make money. And then, Gay Lisa, hands-on in the prisons, not the prisons, I'm sorry, the county jail. So what she's doing is the minute they enter, she's in there, hands-on with them, working with them, doing her programming with them. And then she's staying with them their entire time that they're incarcerated. And once they're out here in society, she's still hands-on with them. And our biggest thing is that we just don't want our people, our incarcerated people, coming out to society, becoming a statistic once again. Because they always say, oh, well, it's a revolving door. It's recidivism. They don't deserve to go. Da, 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 da. If you don't give people opportunity to change and make a difference, they're going to fall back to their last habits or their old habits. If you don't give them an opportunity to get a job, they're going to have no choice but to find a way to survive. Anybody would. Anybody would. We've all committed crimes, guys. I'm just saying, we've all committed crimes. We just have not been caught. So, I mean, there's no difference there's no difference from incarcerated people to us being free. I mean, we've all committed crimes. So, yeah. I definitely don't like being on by myself, guys. Just saying. Hopefully Miss Roberta will come in soon. Let's see. What else do we have upcoming other than the Free the 13th movement? Oh, epic. We've been talking about this proposal we have for parole reconstruction. It's being submitted to lawmakers now. We have finished our cover letter. We have finished our like a draft letter to the proposal, and the proposal. It's all being attached together. We have a database that was shared with us that has every single senator and representative, the new and the old, the new ones that just came on board as well. We're starting to email that out. Within the next month or so, our team would like to get together to try to get our boots back into the State House. We want our feet back in there. We want to go in there. We want to be knocking on the doors. We want to be sitting in the offices. We want to go in there with our folder, our proposal, and drop it on the desk. We don't want to hear no. We want to be able to address the situation. And we've been successful before. And we will get there again. The General Assembly just started this January. So Terry and I and Lex, we've been very patient. We knew there was no sense in introducing it last year. We know a lot of our supporters were like, hey, what's going on with the proposal? Well, guess what? It takes time, guys, and nothing happens overnight. So it was stupid for us to try to introduce it in 2021 because it would have just died. So we are now ready to get it introduced and hopefully sponsored. We will need our supporters within months once we're hoping someone bites back. And when I say when someone bites back, we're hoping a lawmaker, hey, look, I've been working on parole reform. I'd like to work with you guys. Or, hey, I'd like to set up a meeting. Let's talk about your proposal. And then we can compromise and, take some things out if they feel it. But we're not willing to take certain things out of our proposal. We want straight reconstruction. We want the parole board to be more transparent. We want them to be more diverse. We want more transparency. Hold on. The number 216-939-5087. Okay. And then guys, this is By Any Means, one of our partners, Spreading Love Unapologetically. Please support them. I'm dropping their Cash App here. Sorry, my ladies are busy working boots on ground, so they haven't been able to come in studio, but still support them, still love them, and wish they were here with me. By Any Means, Cash App. Okay, that's dropped as well. Miss Gay Lisa, are you around, love? Oh, see, that's why they're watching on they're doing the good thing. They're watching on No Static Radio's link. Oh, there we go. Spreading Love Unapologetically. Hey, girl.
Hello?
Can you hear me? How are you doing?
Okay, how are you?
I'm all right. Here I'm talking to you on our platforms, not realizing you were on the right platform. No Static Radio. On the line, we have Miss Tamara with By Any Means. What y'all doing?
Oh my God, it's been a while. But we've been rocking and rolling lately. I just wanted to call in because I know I was like, you know what? Let's tell you something. You were made to do what you're doing right now, honey. I just want to let you know that.
I love you.
That's the first thing. I miss you guys. Second thing. Third thing is visitation. Have you talked about visitation today?
Oh, no, but we can talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Yes. I just want to quickly, we've been getting a lot of questions about how the visitation is set up in our email and in our mailboxes. Me personally, I don't like going into the prison right now to visit my loved ones, but I've heard a lot of stories from you, from Teresa, and from other ladies and gentlemen, and they're saying that it's really hard to hear.
It absolutely is.
It's really hard to hear because there's plexiglass there. There's a lot of noise. You have to take a COVID test as soon as you get there, rapid test. You got to wait outside for at least an hour. You hear better if you do a video.
You do. And you know what? To me, it makes no sense. First and foremost, you're already surrounded by plexiglass, okay? And even if it's not all the way around you, you still have it in front of you and your loved one. And you're sitting down. You're not moving around, right? What's the sense of wearing masks?
Right. What's the sense? Everyone except for the COs have masks on. Everyone except for the COs have masks on. I have a problem with that.
Amen, sister. Amen. There's a huge problem with it.
Our loved ones have a mask on. We have a mask on, but they're walking around with no mask on.
And this is like where at Trumbull. Well, at Trumbull, I know that the visitation, the supervisor, she's surrounded by plexiglass. Like she's surrounded by it, and right. She doesn't have to, but we are as well. And I had said this earlier. I don't know if you heard me tomorrow, but like when I go see my husband, I'm treated just like I committed that crime too. And that, my husband's wrongfully incarcerated, regardless, but family members shouldn't be treated like they're the ones that did it as well. We're never treated with dignity and we're not treated with respect either, period. We're not.
We got to address that with ODRC. We have to address that.
Where I know we have kind of been out the loop with each other the last couple of weeks, but we're still bonded together, right? We definitely are going to start putting together these rallies, boots on ground. I already know once y'all make a rally, Epic's there to show up. Once we do, y'all's there to show up. So I'm not really worried about all of that, but we definitely need these supporters to start coming out, showing up, and stop bitching on Facebook about it because it's not email. Stop emailing us about it. Like if you're not willing to show up and do the work with us, we're helpless. We can't help you.
Right there.
Yes.
Money involved. But your loved one is sitting there and they need your support.
Joseph, I dropped you the StreamYard link. You're supposed to be in here with me. I'm just saying. Joseph. I was trying to get Joseph to come in with me today because I missed him too. He ain't been in here in a while. But visitation. So I know, actually, I just scheduled today my visit for May. I found out today that in Trumbull, which makes no sense to me because me, if they're all in one institution, they should all be treated the same, right? We know that don't happen. But when I called today, she's like, oh, his block's still only doing one visit a month. So depending on what block you're in, you get more visit privileges. My husband's vaccinated.
Wow.
So why ain't he allowed to go out there whenever the hell he wants to? You know what I'm saying? Like there's no common sense method. There's no, we already know how it works tomorrow. We already know. There never is no common sense. There never is no answers, no explanations. None of that.
And I just wanted to make sure that they knew what they were walking into. I mean, sometimes just to be able to sit in front of your loved one, we probably all need to learn sign language, honestly.
Well, and you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy is before they switched this video visit, because now we have to do the download. So the visits prior to now, right?
Right.
They'd freeze, or like my husband would have to call me from his tablet, even though you have the phone. He shouldn't have to call me from the tablet to talk to me. He should be able to use the phone. Well, we couldn't hear each other. So it's funny because back then we used to tell each other we were going to learn sign language, and it definitely would have did us some good right now. It definitely would have did us some good right now. But no, it's hard because you got that, like I said, the plexiglass and the mask thing, I think, is my biggest bitch. Because even though I can't hear him, if he didn't have to wear the mask, right, I could at least read his lips. It's hard to read somebody's eyes.
It really is.
Yeah. And it's crazy because, you got this plexiglass. Now imagine a plexiglass in front of you. It's about 6 foot tall, maybe about 2 feet wide. Okay. My husband would have to scooch over to the side of the glass to put his ear as close as he could that he wouldn't get yelled at, just so he can hear me. And like I said from the start, and now, I didn't see my husband for 524 days. So I was doing what I had to do to see, regardless, to see him. What if I heard him or not? If I had to just sit there and stare at him, to me, that meant everything. But it was extremely uneasy, very uneasy visit. Very uneasy. The test wasn't so bad. It's not like the typical stick it all the way up in your eyeball type thing. You're doing it yourself. You just, swirl around your nose 10 seconds in each nostril and make sure you put the stick in directly down. Don't touch nothing. And then I've only waited like 15, 20 minutes for my test. But you are not allowed, you cannot wait in the institution. And honestly, I think that's fine. People should wait on their cars. They should wait on their cars. They're doing it by appointments at Trumbull. I don't know if they're all like that. Like at Trumbull, they're doing them in 15-minute increments. Now, I will say the one visit we had towards the end, we were the only two in there for the last 20 minutes. It wouldn't have been so bad if the CO knew how to shut her damn mouth. Because, they're in and out. They're in and out having their own personal conversations with each other. And, we still can't hear each other. Now, if she had been there at the desk by herself and nobody came in and bothered her, bugged her or nothing, and they weren't talking drama, I think we would have been okay. But yeah, the more people they're putting in that visit room, the worse it's going to be. I actually, Miss Green today, I said, can you put me in? She's like, when do you want to come in? I said, give me the last visit. Right? Because I'm hoping that me and him can have some time to each other by ourselves without all the background noise, but it's very uneasy. And I get it. I get why people don't want to. And especially those that live more than a half hour, an hour away from their loved ones. I totally understand, but I'm saying, hey girl, I don't mind looking at my baby's blue eyes though. But listen, no, seriously, if you live within an hour of your person's prison institution, please just do it, because I'm gonna tell you what, like I said, it was 524 days. We were going through some shit. We all do. But not being able to see your loved one for that long, it's heartbreaking. And I had to do whatever I had to do to see him, but knowing look, seriously, this is the difference between that video visit and that in-person visit. Okay. Yeah. In video, you're only seeing them from shoulders up, right? I mean, you can see if their face is okay, but at least when they're in front of you, you can tell that, oh, okay, they're still healthy. They're still working out. They're not losing weight. They're still eating good. You know what I mean? Not that they're eating good, because we know they don't eat good, but you know what I'm trying to say. Their well-being, seeing their well-being right in front of you, truly.
It's different for all of us, but now for us, it reduces the anxiety. I get it, but.
And actually, if you're vaccinated on the outside, you still have to take a COVID test. I know people have asked us that, and no offense, but that's common sense. The vaccination doesn't say that you're not going to get COVID. So yes, you should have to take a test. Everyone's like, oh, well, my card. No, your card, baby, that just says that you've been vaccinated.
Right.
It ain't no free pass. It ain't no free pass. So,
And I think that I'm glad you mentioned vaccinations again because they're on full speed getting vaccinated inside.
oh wait, let's talk about that. I'm not sure if you know this, but I know in Trumbull, they were giving the Johnson & Johnson to our people.
Yeah, they were giving it to them all the prisons. Yes.
I mean, luckily my husband took the Moderna, but I mean, it's super
One
sad.
of them got the Moderna.
It's,
One of them got the Moderna, yeah.
you know, it's
I don't know
super
about the
sad.
other one. I think he said he's not taking it. My son's saying, yeah.
Well, he's got to be careful because you know what? They're also threatening them right now that they're going to start segregating those that have been and those that haven't been. And those that haven't been, there's no rec, no visitation, no this, no that. And I honestly I don't understand how they morally can do that.
They're prisoners.
I mean, they're slaves. They can do whatever they want. But once we abolish this 13th Amendment, I'm telling y'all right now, we're coming down on y'all. They're people.
Let's do whatever they want.
Yep. Yep.
Unless
Yeah.
families get out here and have that conversation.
Also, I found out there was a deputy warden at Trumbull walked out recently.
Wow.
Yeah, and the reason being, you ready? Falsifying paperwork.
What?
Falsifying paperwork. Mr. Deputy Warden at Trumbull. Yes. Set.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I'm coming, Mike. Give me a second. Hold on a second.
Before I go, I'm gonna go soon. I don't want my dinner to burn, you guys. But before I go, I just wanted to put it out there. By any means, it's definitely has some really major things coming up for the summer for our young people. It's just a lot of fun and a lot of learning about to go on. I'm gonna just leave it at that. You know, I don't want to give up too much, but
Right.
It's for our families who have loved ones who are either incarcerated now or have been previously incarcerated. You know, that's basically that's a community of people that we oftentimes forget about. You know, when dad gets home or when mom gets home, the family is still being affected. So we want to still be able to provide that support for people.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, and that is the thing. They are definitely forgot about, and they're definitely the ones that need the most love right now. I mean, they're without their parent. You know, I know my husband's son is now 21 years old. And my husband's been incarcerated for 20 years. You know, they've never had a chance to bond. Like my husband's never had a chance to bond with his child, not until he was 18, when I was able to take him to visits, you know, and I was grateful that I was able to put that bond in place. Right. But they deserve to bond outside of there.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Because if not, it's going to be a vicious cycle.
It's all about staying persistent, and I love what we are doing. I know for a fact that our organizations, the three of us, I know that we've been putting in the work. For sure. I know we've been putting in a lot of work.
I love you guys. Thank you guys. Listen. Have fun.
Hey, my best friend is in the No Static chat. Can you drop her? I don't know if there's a link or not to what you guys are getting started up, but she knows I've shared that before about that's my best friend. She's, yeah. Shout out to my bestie, Serena O'Donnell. Thank you for your donation, your generous donation. We definitely appreciate it. She knows how much, she knows how much I self-fund. So she gets it. You know what I'm saying? And she does what she can. You know, I'll be out shopping for the organization and she'll be like, I'll take care of that. I'll pay for it. That's my donation for your organization, you know. And I do. I love and I appreciate her. She does not have anyone that's, you know, she's not affected by incarceration like we are, but she definitely supports me. She is. No, she knows she is. Right. But I'm saying to our extent. She's not loving someone that's incarcerated. So, but she definitely gets it. She understands it and she sees what I go through every day. not just with my own, but, on the organization aspect. It's a lot of work, and we need help, y'all. We need all the peoples we can get.
We need dedicated help. We need people who are motivated, dedicated, resourceful, and ready to make a big difference, in the lives of our communities, and beyond. Because
She said my tax dollars.
And just so many different things in the future. And I mean, across the board, from reentry to legislation to the inside, we're doing it. So we need that help.
Amen, sister. Amen.
What you always say.
Action over cloud. Period. Yes, and there is my girl Tamara from By Any Means. She is in partner with Teresa Rogers. Again, she is one of our force. Our force. Very thankful for those women. Very thankful for those women. They showed up with us last year for the Free the 13th movement. And take these off for now. The Free the 13th movement. We were downtown, at the State House in Columbus, bringing awareness to the 13th Amendment. It wasn't as big as we wanted it to be, but guess what? We still made it everything we wanted it to be, regardless how many people showed up with boots on ground. We did bring awareness. That's all we care about. That's all we care about is educating people. That's all we care about. Thank you again, Tamara, for calling in. I miss you in studio. Hopefully we will see you on cam next week. Mike Norman, I dropped that link to you, babe, if you want to come in with me. I don't have my cell phone with me, so I wasn't able to do too much today. I mean, I do, but it's in the car. You love my shirt? Come get one. $25 from a small to large. $27 for anything bigger. You can contact us at the email I just posted at the bottom. spreadingloveunapologetically@gmail.com. You can get one of your shirts. No more pre-order. We have them on deck. We are ready to send them out. We will have masks available soon as well. Contact us at spreadingloveunapologetically@gmail.com if you are interested. There is no more pre-order. We have them on deck. So please. Also, we are looking for sponsors. If any businesses, organizations, or anyone would like to sponsor Spreading Love Unapologetically, again, reach out to us. We have a couple different tiers. We are willing and ready to add your business logo to the back of our shirts. Our road to success, I should say. We will definitely get you a shirt out depending on what tier you're on. And then again, depending on whatever tier you're on, we will advertise your business on a live broadcast of Spreading Love Unapologetically here at No Static Radio. So I want to thank everybody for coming in today. I'm hoping Roberta still shows up a little bit. We are definitely going to get her and Alfred here in studio. I'm working on trying to get a couple other people in here as well. We're looking for juveniles, anyone that was affected by incarceration, even formally or currently affected by incarceration. Tamara's right. Our children that have incarcerated loved ones are definitely the most forgot about children. It's hard. It's hard loving someone that's incarcerated, period, let alone having to love your parent. And I never had to do it, thankfully, but I've seen it. My kids are not my husband's, but my kids now know the effect of what it is to love someone that's incarcerated and just being their stepfather. It's super sad. And we have to do better, people. We have people that are sitting in prison that were sentenced 5 years to 10 years to 15 years, and they've literally been in prison for 30, 40, 45 years. I mean, why? What is the sense in it other than profit? They're profiting off of our loved ones. They're profiting off of our people. Again, it all boils down to slavery. Slavery. Slavery here in Ohio, slavery across the United States. Read the 13th Amendment. There is an exception clause separated by a semicolon that continues on. We've got to get rid of it. We need the 13th Amendment to read no slavery, period. And we are doing all the work that we have to do to work alongside Senator Cecil Thomas and his aide to ensure that we abolish slavery once and for all here in the state of Ohio. And like I said, EPIC's partnered with Abolish Slavery National Network. We will do whatever it takes, even if it takes us a year or two to get it happening in Ohio. We are already on board to make sure that it happens in other states as well. Because like I said, until it does, mass incarceration is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. They're making so much money. Here in Ohio, $36,000 a year to incarcerate one person. One person. But our kids can't get a good education. Their schools can't get funding. Their schools are having budget cuts. Their schools are getting everything taken from them because they're setting our children up for the system. Our children are being set up to be a product of the system. Period. And you don't have to believe me, but that's the facts. That's the reality. I've shared with you guys numerous times the payroll for DRC staff members here in Ohio. Billions. And our teachers. 50 million. I mean, you see the difference? It's sickening. Our teachers deserve more. If we paid our teachers a little more, our children wouldn't be products of the system. They're teaching our kids all the way back to third grade how to set them up to be a product of the incarceration. Honestly, those third grade test scores, that's what they use when they determine how many prisons they're going to build and when. I'm not lying. Google it, research it. It's the God's honest truth. People need to start paying attention. I mean, obviously, this day and age, things are just getting crazier. Nothing's coming together. There's no peace. There's no more peace now than there was 10 years ago. It's getting worse. And now is the time for us to speak up and stay persistent and keep the pressure and keep speaking on it and don't shut up. Don't let them silence you. Do whatever you have to do to get out here and educate people by any means, period. You have to. Otherwise, it's going to be your loved one next, or it could even be you. It could be any of us. Any of us. There was a Gay Lisa, you had a message in here as well. I'll copy it and paste it to you. Again, thank you, Tamar, for calling in. Phone lines are open, guys. We got about 20 more minutes or so. 216-939-5087. If you would love to spread your love unapologetically, call in, share a success story. You got a problem going on in a certain institution, call in. Whatever it is, hit that phone line up, guys. We are in studio here at No Static Radio, spreading love unapologetically. And I agree, Serena. She said circumstances can change in seconds. And they absolutely could. They really could. And that's why it's important for us to make sure that the people, that circle that we're keeping around us is legit. Because you never know. You never know. Oh. Hey, Linda. Hey, Linda. Yeah, if you're vaccinated, you shouldn't have to wear a mask, but that's the problem. Like we really don't know much about these vaccines. We don't know what it does do and what it doesn't do and what it prevents and what it doesn't. We don't know. But the thing is that when you're going into restaurants, the minute you sit down, you can take your mask off. Right? Am I lying though? Ain't that the rules?
Yeah.
You go into the restaurant and sit down. As long as you're sitting, you can take your mask off. But you're in a prison. And I'm telling you, they got tape around you, like a block of tape. You're black. And then they have, they do have the visit rooms pretty spaced out. You're not sitting next to the next person. But the problem is people's voices carry. And some people are soft-spoken. So you go in, you got plexiglass all around you, in between your loved one, too, and you're wearing masks while sitting down. Like, at least let us, now, and this is another thing, because I even said something to the lady that checked us in last time. I said, it doesn't make sense to me about these masks. Like, why can't you guys at least get some, like, invisible type masks so that we could read lips? Like, we're already having a hard time hearing each other in there. And then you got staff coming in and out socializing with each other, and we still can't hear each other. But I think what they did was they opened up the visits to shut those families up that were bitching about there not being any visitation, which, hey, I get it. It was a year. A year for most people. It was a year and a half for me, which, like I said, I was restricted. My restriction overlapped COVID. They still got a year out of me, which felt like indefinitely. But now, and each institution's different. Some institutions have 8-hour visits, no vending. Some I've been told aren't even given water bottles. I know I didn't even get a water bottle, but our visits are only an hour, one time a month. One prison institution, yet all kinds of different rules depending on the warden and its kingdom.
Yeah, that's crazy. There's sometimes people ain't gonna come for that. Like you said, if they live 2-3 hours.
It's not worth it.
Yeah, if you live 2-3 hours away, yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, luckily, granted for me, my husband's in Trumbull. It's a 45-minute, maybe an hour drive for an hour. But if I had to drive even an hour and a half, 2 hours, like I'd seriously debate it. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like these incarcerated people aren't even put anywhere near home.
Yeah, that's how it is. That's how they try to do it.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. It's sickening. It's immoral, honestly. I mean, we're treating human beings like garbage. And I know people are like, oh, like animals. No, I'm not even an animal person, but I believe because they breathe oxygen, they deserve to be treated as such. It's God's doing there. There's oxygen, they deserve to live. Turtles deserve to live. Squirrels deserve to live. Humans deserve to live. Yeah. So that treating them like animal stuff, that don't fly with me because they shouldn't even be treated like animals. Animals shouldn't even be treated that way.
Because he was in federal prison. He got out about 3 or 4 years ago. He got out of federal prison. But they don't put them nowhere close to home.
Right.
He was in like Utica, New York. They're from Utica, New York, like in Arizona. Like, yeah.
Actually, one of our Joseph, I tried to get him in today. He was actually, it's been a couple months he's been out, but he served 2 decades. He has his book, From the Sandbox to the Casket, or I'm sorry, that's my husband and mine's slogan. From the Sandbox to the Cell Block. Yeah. Joseph Langdon, that's his book. But he was in Virginia and got shipped up here. Yeah. And then dumped in Ohio. Yeah. And he's from the Bronx.
Put you anywhere.
And because he's on parole, he has to go. He has to stay in Ohio unless he can make arrangements. But even trying to get from that spot you've already been put at, it's hard. And right now he's at a shelter. He was staying at a hotel. We've been doing all we could to kind of like back him up and help him out. But he's doing fabulous just on his own. Yeah. Very proud of him. And when they get out and they do that type of stuff and we hear these success stories, we definitely use them as poster children because we have to. We have to find a way to change the narrative. And how do you do that? You have to bring somebody that was in it and show, you know what I'm saying? Show them the proof, you know, not everyone's bad. There is a such thing as coming out and being a restored citizen, period. You just have to give people resources. You have to give people programming. You just have to. Do you know what I mean? It's just like if I was to go to prison and I came out to no family, no programming, no resources, I don't know where to start.
I don't know. I've always been a different thinker.
You find a way.
I've always thought too, it's like, you never know what the higher up people are doing. Because I don't trust, I'm pretty much like, I don't believe any of those people. And I'm always the person, people like, yeah, it's like, especially like this presidency and congressman and all these TV personalities. Like, you never know what all these people are doing into, like, even pastors at churches, man.
Hey,
you never even believe. People like, man, you'll never believe what these people are up to until it's on the news. And then you're like, oh my gosh, for real? Like, yeah, man, it's like, those are the worst people. The people that are
making our laws.
The people that are in the prisons, watching the prisoners, are the worst people.
Yes, they are. They're their own criminal gang.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they are the heartless felons. Let's keep it real.
That's why they don't show, like you say, the people that go in to visit.
That's why cell phones are contraband.
Respect. They don't show respect to the people that come in to visit. They think everybody is beneath them. It's crazy.
That's 100% facts. Truth.
Every dog kisses day, though.
Yeah. Karma's serious and God don't like ugly. But yeah, that the whole CO thing, it really bothers me. I mean, like I said, the payroll. You know, if you go to ohiocheckbook.gov, it says transparency at your fingertips. Yeah. And you go to payroll. I'm serious. DRC is #1 payroll for government officials. Yeah. And teachers are sitting like 50 agencies down. Why? I mean, the Board of Education should be the most, you know what I mean? Like, you would think, you know, because that's the thing. We always want to educate our people, go to school, go to college, get a good job. You can't do all that without going to school and going to college, right? So why aren't we paying more to our teachers and to our schools so that our children are capable when they are out of school and go to college? But no, they're setting them up to where they don't even want to finish school no more. There's no opportunity for them.
That's what I try to tell people too, like how parents educate yourself, then educate your children about like what's going on in the world, like Google and YouTube. Like, I'm on Google and YouTube all day. Google and YouTube.
Find out whatever you need to.
Learn about LLCs, learn about real estate, learn about stocks that pay dividends, learn about stocks that pay dividends monthly, learn about passive income, teach yourself, learn about how to start a business, how to file with the Secretary.
And see, that stuff they should be teaching in the schools.
Yeah, but so I say, if you got a mentor, or if you have your kids, if you're a parent that has kids, single parent, like I said, teach yourself first and then pass that on to your kids, because now the knowledge has to come from home, and it has to come from. And you have to be like self-reliant these days, because now, like you say, the schools is not going to do it. The teachers at the school is going to teach you what they've been taught to do.
Right. And that's one, I mean, you know, I'm not sure how old you are. I'm 37, but even back when I was in school, like, they didn't teach us history like they should have been teaching us history. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're finding more out now, like, you know, like with all, especially like with the George Floyd and this and the slavery, like, there's things that I'm like, that happened? How come that wasn't taught in school? Because that's the stuff they don't want you knowing about.
Yeah, I'm 43, like I said.
Well, you're not that much older than me. Come on now.
I'm always the person that got kicked out of class. They wanted me to be in the gifted classes, but I didn't have any friends in there. And then I always questioned stuff. Like I said, I don't believe. Like, what I learned in the school was to retain information enough to pass a test. That's what school taught me. How to become slick.
Right. And you know, that's what they're telling these guys that are going up to the parole board. You know, they're going up to the parole board, no tickets, Model prisoners ain't never seen the whole, no RIB, no nothing. And you know what they're telling them? Oh, you're slick. You're too slick. You know the prison system, and that's why they ain't got, I'm flopping you 10 years. Are you serious right now?
Crazy.
And that's another thing. The parole board is actually flopping on the extent of the crime.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. They were sentenced for that already by the judge. The parole board should only be flopping people based on their rehabilitation, based on the person they are now, not what they did 20, 30, 40 years ago. Nature of crime is never going to go away. The extent of the crime is never going to go away, but people do change. So is the parole board telling us, obviously, that there is no rehabilitation in DOC? You know, and that's what people fail to realize too.
It's crazy. Like it's different politics in there too. They trump you up with some extra years if they don't like you, man. You say you gang affiliated, you leader of the gang. They throw some stuff.
STG, baby.
Yeah, I seen they throw some stuff at you, man. They throw all kind of stuff at you.
For anything. They come in, shake you up, shake you down. You got a homemade pillow. Guess what? There's a ticket.
Yeah.
You got an extra bag of chips from Chow. There's a ticket. You know, and it's super sad. You know, and like I know down in Mississippi actually, they are in the process of trying to. Now you know they took cigarettes out the prisons a long time ago, back when we weren't able to smoke in public buildings no more, whatever. But they made it contraband. So now it's more trouble for them. Yeah. Right?
And the CEOs get paid more money.
And they're bringing it in. Yeah. They're bringing the shit. They're bringing it all in. Bringing it all in. Which has me questioning, because I have said many a times, I've talked about like the drug testing during COVID. Okay. Yeah. We've now you know, they'll say it's family members bringing it in all day long. They ain't never gonna say that their staff members are bringing it in. They ain't never going to let no news crew in there to blast them. That's why we don't know about it. We find out a lot about it, and I try to reach out to people all the time, news reporters all the time. But there's only certain things that these news reporters are willing to cover. Anyhow, we've been complaining about drug testing. We want to know the statistics, how many have been drug tested since COVID, how many drug tests have been given in each prison during COVID. Yeah. And I'm telling you right now, it's probably a quarter less than ever. Like, I mean, not a quarter. It's probably at a quarter, whereas, you know, maybe 25% versus the 100. Because every week you would hear people say, like, had a drug test. My husband, they came and made me drop my pee. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were consistently doing it. And I would ask, like, do you know anybody lately that's had a drug test? Do you know anybody? No. Now that visits are opening up, they're giving drug tests again. Because this is why. If they would have been giving them during the time visitation was closed,
they know exactly where it's coming from.
It's going to show you. Yeah, because no vendors.
Still know exactly where it's coming
from. No, they do. They do. They just definitely don't want the facts out there. They don't want the truth out there. They, even the prison director, Annette Chambers, and you're aware of JPay, right? Yeah. Annette Chambers, the prison director for Ohio, was the COO of JPay. Yeah. And she worked for payment management. That's a conflict of interest. Yeah. And she's out here, the prisons are doing fine. Our workers are heroes. And no, lady, no.
That's how they do it. You higher up. I say that's where the biggest crooks is at the top. Let it trickle down.
Yeah. If anybody wants to call in, we got about 10 minutes. We'll take one last call, 216-939-5087. I apologize that Roberta wasn't able to come in today. She probably did text message me. Hopefully she didn't get lost. Again, I'm just going to go ahead and shout out her book, 3 Strands, 1 Cord. Actually, her and her husband's book. A Couple's Guide to Understanding Incarceration. It is definitely a great read. There they go. Alfred Cleveland was wrongfully incarcerated here in Ohio for 20 years. And he's actually was granted parole miraculously, because we're talking about the parole board being, slim to none. But miraculously, he was finally granted parole, and him and his wife are currently fighting for his wrongful incarceration. He deserves to be paid. His family deserves to be paid. You cannot give back 20 years of incarceration to anybody, especially when they've been wrongfully incarcerated, period. Money can't buy that. No, you done missed out on too much. So when it happens, we have to make noise about it. When the cops are out here killing our people, we need to be that angry when we have wrongful convictions coming out of our courtrooms. The minute they release somebody, we need to be boots on ground as a pack, making sure that people are aware that that wrongful conviction happened outside of that courtroom. Cuyahoga County, Franklin County, Hamilton County, Trumbull County, corrupted. We have to get out here and make more noise. If you know someone that was wrongfully incarcerated and they're being exonerated, you need to let us know. Because if you can't show up, we for sure will. We want to be there to support. We want to be there to share their stories because they deserve to have their stories told regardless. Very thankful for our OIP guys, our Ohio Innocence Project clients, Ruel Saylor, Larice Glover, Derek Wheat. Like, these guys are out here boots on ground all the time, bringing awareness to wrongful incarcerations. Ricky Kidd out of Missouri, 23 years, double life sentence without parole for a crime he never even seen, witnessed, or was there. Was wrongfully incarcerated, exonerated in 2018. Last year, we were a part of his Freedom Lap tour. Today, married to a beautiful woman, has a baby girl, and he's able to finally enjoy his family. And he left behind another daughter who is now a grown woman. He missed out so many years with his daughter being wrongfully incarcerated because of crooked prosecutors and police. 54% of wrongful incarcerations are due to prosecutor misconduct and police misconduct. 54%. That's huge. It is said 5 in 100 people are in fact innocent of the crimes they are convicted of. 5 in 100.
The police getting out of control, though. They really out of control right now.
And that's it's not getting any better. From 10, there's no more peace than there was back then.
Yeah, that was when we were doing our show last week, last Monday, not this past Monday, 2 Mondays ago, and then Gerald, he's like, ain't you from Knoxville, Tennessee? Like, yeah. It's like, what you know about Austin East? As it made the news, world news. One of the police officers in the school down there thought the guy, whole story still didn't come out. They said that one of the kids had a gun in the bathroom. The police officer at the school killed him in the bathroom. They still trying to find the tape for that, but it's been going on down there. They protested down there. Then it was like right before they announced that Chauvin verdict yesterday that a girl down in Columbus got shot.
By the cops.
Teenage girl. They killing the teenagers. The teenagers ain't got no hope. They just straight up killing the teenagers. Like, oh, we thought they had a gun. They looked like they was getting aggressive, we ain't got no de-escalation skills.
No de-escalation. Yep. No de-escalation. None of that. None of that. None of that. And actually, I just made a Facebook post. The young kid that was shot in the back supposedly dropped the gun. Oh no, he had his hands up. They asked him to stop, put his hands up. He stopped, put his hands up, and the cop shot him and then ran over to him and like called it in that he was shot. Like, I got a victim that was shot, or I got, a shooting, whatever, but was hesitant to say that he did it. Like, I shot him.
Yeah.
And then was like, are you okay? Are you okay? Like, it's a little too late for that. You know what I'm saying? And I think he was young. He was like 23 years old. I forget. But there's been so many recently, it's hard to keep the story straight. But I had posted on Facebook, I'm a CCW carrier.
Yeah.
And I know that in my instruction class, when I was being trained, that they stated, if you are able to escape, do not shoot because it's not justified. Okay.
Yeah.
So that means even if I'm stuck, but so-and-so goes to run away, it's not justified for me to shoot them in their back. Why is it justified for these cops to get away with doing the same exact thing?
Yeah.
If someone's running away from you, I don't care if they have a gun. I don't care if you thought you seen a gun, you seen this, you seen that. If they are not shooting at you,
Yeah.
why are you shooting at them? I mean, look at Tamir Rice.
Yeah.
A play gun.
That's what they do now. They don't ask no questions. They so scared now. Everything's like they just want to kill something.
Right.
My life was that I'm gonna kill somebody today. That's how they wake up today. Like,
slave catchers are now becoming slaves.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm excited that that whole verdict yesterday was guilty, 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 because now you get to reap what you sow.
They just wake up. I mean, I can see it in some of them eyes. I opened up a can one day. It's crazy. I was at the rapid station. I opened up my can, and one of them, he's like, "What's that you got over there?" He came. He's like, "Oh, that sounded like a beer." I was like, "Oh, it sounded like a can." I was like, "What? Like a beer and an energy drink? They make the same sound? Like it sounded like a can? Like, oh, he just like, oh, I wanted him to be doing like a beer or something."
He was ready for you.
Yeah, he was ready.
He was ready
they wake
for
up
you.
in the morning. That's why they wake up.
They're extremely aggressive.
Get somebody.
Extremely aggressive, you know, and I feel, yeah, they should. Police should. They should go through de-escalating training. And I'm not talking about right when they get in the police force. I'm talking about continuously, consistently.
Yeah.
Range time, all that. You know, they should have to go to the range at least 6 to 12 months. I mean, and what's the problem with shooting somebody in the leg?
I mean, but it's like you said, you know what kind of person you deal with. You feel the energy when you walk into a prison. Or even when you're around certain cops, you feel the energy. That energy is not different when somebody
Negative.
Else is around.
Oh my God! Listen, there's the CO because I know we're getting ready to be cut off. Yep, that the CO supervisor at my husband's institution that got us originally banned. When I walked back in, they're like, "Yep, I'm still that one." Like just already, I felt it, and my whole visit, I couldn't even enjoy it because you feel it.
Yeah,
you feel it.
That's what I'm saying. They don't. It ain't like they immune to the energy. That's why you can send them to training or whatever and keep on sending them to training. It ain't gonna work because they looking for the energy. That's
right. And you know what? But that's off. That's gonna have to be up to, you know, the police union to, you know, be able to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Just like when we're hiring people, we gotta figure it out, right?
Yeah.
All right, y'all. We're about at that time right now. I do want to appreciate everyone that tuned in. We got lots of love today. Likes. I see a few hearts up there. Same thing on the No Static Radio. Please, if you are not following No Static Radio LLC, go find them on Facebook right now and tune in next week, 4 to 6, with Spreading Love Unapologetically. This is Gina Kenny with Epic in Ohio and hosting with DJ Hustle Carter. Caduce to you, and thank you for joining me today.
Okay.
Y'all take care.
Yeah.